Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming, guys. In today's video, I am going to invite you, darling. Invite you to the Jungle Beauty Goddesses online doll museum. It is now waiting for your presence. I want to talk to you a little bit about what inspired me. Oh God, so I really wanted to start the video like this. I wanted to say, I'm driving down. I started working with my holy guardian angel, and I'm driving down the street, and I literally hear a voice from, like, a heavenly voice that says, start an online doll museum. And I said, an online doll museum? And I looked to see if anyone else had already made an online doll museum. And there are actually quite a few, to be honest. I was like, okay. So I'm looking at some of the online doll museums and some people, and I was just like, no, this is not me. This is not how I would, I don't want mine to look like this. And then this little voice was like, just be yourself, be yourself. Do it the way you would want it to be done. Like, don't look at what other people have done. Just really look within your heart and how you would want it to be executed. So guys, I've been working on this project since April, and I thought I was going to be done in a couple of months, but April, May, June, July, August. It took me 4 months, and maybe it took me 4 months to do this. 4 months working around the clock like an insane person, in addition to teaching summer classes. So it was anyway, so the angel said, this heavenly voice said to me as I'm driving down the street, create an online doll museum. Now, I don't know how this is going to happen, because I don't know how to build a website. I don't really know how this is going to work out. And so I talked to some people about helping me to build a website, and they said, okay, I'll just go find everything you need, place it into this little software, this little thing I'm going to send you, and I'll make the changes. And I said, well, I want you to teach me how to make the changes myself, because I don't want to be dependent. And they said, oh no, we'll do it. So I'm thinking, is this going to be like a forever relationship where every time I want to add an additional picture or make a change, I'm going to have to call you up to do it? No, this is just not going to work for me. So the thing is, so I would look at these video tutorials on how to create a Wix website from scratch, and I would always fall asleep. It was sleep. It was a good way to get some really good sleep. Yeah, because I don't read instructions. I'm just not that person, right? So anyway, I decided, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to get this museum done. So guys, I have to, Cassandra, have to do her Cassandra thing. I have to use Magick. So I go to my 72 Angels of Magick by Damon Brand. This is my baby, y'all. This right here, this is my baby. And I was just like, okay, I need to build, God is telling me, or angels, or whoever is telling me I should build an online doll museum, and I don't have the skill set to build a website from scratch. I don't want to depend on other people. I don't even know why I'm being asked to do this. And this journey turned into a journey of contacting my ancestors, healing my ancestors. Guys, I kid you not. It turned into my great-great-great-grandmother contacted me, coming through in a Reiki session where she literally embodied I have a Reiki master, and I have a pastor who do these timeline healing sessions on me. It just became this extremely spiritual journey of healing the women in my bloodline. I kid you not. And these women, I can feel them now. Oh my God, I feel the vibrations. Hi, Grandma. I don't know which grandma. I don't know who it is, but hey. And so basically, what happened is my grandmothers were maids, and they sewed what they had to so that I could sew what I want to, so that I could play. And so this is, this is what came to me, is that I am the manifestation of my ancestors' magic, and that everything that they couldn't do, or was not able to do for resources, in terms of resources. And then also, this is like we're talking about my great grandmother. So I was able to get a picture of her, and it's on my website, by the way, when you go to my about page. And it's just been a very spiritual and emotional journey, and I could see the hands of all of the women, sewing and mending and creating things, making curtains, making dresses, doing all the things that they had to do so that I could have this moment in space to create these dolls, these cloth dolls that I am absolutely in love with. So I thank my grandmothers for that. So, like I said, it became a very spiritual journey. And as I was working with, and I don't want to guys go through all the different angels that I was working with, but I'll tell you one thing. I found out that what I thought was a problem with, not being able to create a website, it actually was a problem with being afraid of letting people see me, like being afraid of letting people, like, for example, guys, let me just calm down here. So I don't know, for some of you guys, I don't know if you know, but my dolls typically are anatomically correct, including my life-size Jesus. I have a life-size Shiva and Kuan Yin, who you would see in the Jungle Beauty Goddess online doll museum. Now I want to tell you about why I call it the Jungle Beauty Goddess online doll museum. Why not just call it Cassandra? Well, the Jungle Beauty Goddesses and the life-size sculptures that you see, these are the Jungle Beauty Goddesses sitting behind me. Okay, you might need to just, you might need a moment for this one. So, I don't know if you guys have heard about the crucifixion of Jesus. Yeah, right. So when I was a kid, I always wondered, how did, because, we went to a Baptist church, and they said that Jesus was his only child, and that they got rid of his only child. I'm like, wait, I'm a kid, because I'm thinking yeah, what do you mean you hurt my only kid, dude? What's up with that, right? So as a little kid, I always wondered, God must have been really pissed. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's just the foundation of my thinking, right? So in my Jungle Beauty Goddess book series, the Jungle Beauty Goddesses are the last deities to ever exist in all of time and space, because humans or beings on the various planets no longer need deities, because they realize that they are God-like themselves. And that is the basic understanding of how the story unfolds. So in my stories, Jesus, Kuan Yin, Buddha, Shiva, every deity, Shango, Oshun, every deity that you could possibly think of in all time and space, no matter what the religion is. They're all siblings, they're all brothers and sisters, and they love each other. And when they found out what was happening with Jesus, with his beings, it just changed the trajectory of deityhood. They couldn't believe it. They said, he was doing everything he could to help them. And Demeter, who would be similar to God, who was the jungle beauty goddess's father, he was like, boy, you out here, doing, I told you about doing magic, turning the water into wine and all of this, healing the sick. I told you not to do magic. Yeah, because when you do things for people, it actually makes them feel a sense of entitlement. It makes them feel small, and it doesn't make them like you. It makes them come for you. So anyway, I'm just saying it just freely now. It's not how I see it in the story. So in the Jungle Beauty Goddess online museum, you'll see I have a Jungle Beauty Goddess series that is the prequel to the books, to understand how the story starts. So basically, they find out their brother is on a cross. They are pissed. God is like, Demeter would be like Demeter, he's like, oh my God, what am I going to tell my wife? She's pregnant with our 7 daughters. The Jungle Beauty Goddess is sitting behind me, right? And so he's like, I don't want to tell her. And then he's kind of mad at Jesus. He's like, dude, I told you not to do magic. I told you. And the people would just resent you. Right? They need to see the consequences of their actions. But anyway, so please, if you, things are falling. I knew that would happen. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I have the thing up here. And if you go to, and I have the website link in my description box, you see, click on the Jungle Beauty Goddess series, and it's series 1 through, here's some of the highlights. Let me just turn this up a little bit. It's 1 through 7, and you can see, it's more like a cartoon. They kind of explain. So as you see, you can see the various, let me see if I can do this. Here we go. It's only 7 episodes. Now, each one of the deities or divine beings that I've created, they have their own gallery. Okay, guys, so if you want to see the photos of like Shiva and Jesus and Kuan Yin, you just click on our gallery collection, and you can just click on their link. Like, I'm just gonna click Lord Shiva and Kuan Yin here, and it'll take you through, I think I could click on another one, but each one have their own picture collection. I have taken thousands and thousands of pictures, and this has been like maybe almost 15 years of me developing the story and making these life-size sculptures. I like to call them life-size fabric sculptures. Demeter, who is the father, he is like 7 feet tall and his wife is almost 6 feet tall. Jesus and Shiva, they are over 6 feet tall. Now, I also have a behind the scenes, which is really behind the scenes footage of my doll making process. Like I said, my dolls are anatomically correct, and I show you everything. My house is filthy. Well, I'm a pig. I'm a proud pig. Like, who has time to clean when I have things to make? You know what I mean? I need somebody else to clean up. But you'll see my complete insanity. So in the process of creating the museum, after working with the archangels, and this is my baby, y'all. And the reason I like this book, I mean, it's an 11-day ritual. You start on a Thursday, you end on a Sunday. I like it because when I'm really trying to develop myself, I'm trying to grow, I don't need a frivolous relationship. I need a commitment. Yeah, right. I need you to show up for. I can get up because it's me and you. It's me, you, trying to fix this create a website when I don't have the technical skills to looking through thousands of pictures. I got my grandmother's visiting. It's a lot going on, and the angels are kind of like helping me. They're orchestrating. I would go to bed to cry my little heart. I would say, God, this is a setup. This is a setup. You know I don't know how to build a website. You know you just want to torture me. You know I'm almost 6 years old, and you got me out here in the streets like a 16-year-old. Like it was emotional. And and the thing is, I realized is that I was afraid of people really seeing me. Of seeing me, when I used to write articles for magazines, I used to get a lot of rejection letters because they said your writing style is too risque. You're too risque. My job, people will come to me and I've been sent home because my skirt is too short. I love knee-high boots and fishnet pantyhose, and people would say like, look, why do you dress like this? Why do you dress like a hooker? Because I love it, right? Yeah. But long story short, so I was struggling with being seen, right? And this is why I had to get through a lot of that, and working with my chakras, my solar plexus. I bought these. Let me see if I have one here. I do. I don't want anything to fall. These like wands. And I would place them. I have them. The Peter site kind of messes with my computer, so I try to keep it away. But I have Peter site, and I have citrine, and I would lay them on my solar plexus because I realized it was a self-esteem issue. Of, you can create something, but then at the same time, you feel vulnerable to when other people see it, and they think you weird and they think you crazy. Now if you go behind the scenes, you're gonna think I'm crazy. So anyway, another so our membership is only $4.99 because I really want you to see it if you want to see it. But if you are uncomfortable with the human form, the unclad human form, then you don't want to go behind the scenes, child, because I promise you, you may not like my art, but I promise not to bore you. Yeah! Right? I promise you're going to walk away like she is insane. Okay? I'm not only going to unsubscribe and never this girl is crazy. But that was a part of what I needed to work through. And it's not caring what people think of me, right? The other thing, I have another series that is in my members only is I call it the Cosmic Love Affair. And it's between Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai and Dr. Lunar M. Crater, aka Mr. Moon Man Lover. And so here is a little bit. I hope it's nothing inappropriate, y'all. Okay, but if you join my membership, you'll be able to see the 4 videos of showing the development of this love affair. And it's very, I don't want to use the word explicit, it's very sultry and it's very sensuous. Okay, so that's behind the scenes. And so as time go on, when I'm making my dolls, I love taking like the craziest pictures, like when they're completely nude and I haven't attached their head to their body yet. Oh, it is like my fave. And I read about it. I think it was it King Henry, I think he was the one who was getting rid of his wives in unsavory ways, and they said that the caskets were too small for the body, so they would like cut off their head and put it in their arms. I was like, that, I'm gonna do that. Like, so when I was making my dolls, there was always a picture of them sitting in the chair, and they would hold their. I'm like, this is okay. See what I'm saying? How many people clicked off? How many people but I have to be who I am. So there's a Cosmic Love Affair. There are the dolls behind the scene, and there's so this, like, as you can see, the Jungle Beauty Goddesses and the storyline is the foundation of my life. Of all of my life-size dolls are connected to the Jungle Beauty Goddess book series, and some of them, like Clonic is the Demon of Wealth. I I went through, I think it's called, I don't know if it's called Wealth Magic or something, but it's with the Gallery of Magic, but it's by Damon Brand. It's a pretty long process, but this is where I became in contact with Clonic, and this is when I made my first Clonic doll. And see, whenever I mention them, it's almost like I feel their spirits. But he's in book 4, which is really interesting. I'm so excited. Okay, and before Crystal Ball, so the beings, most of the beings, the fabric beings, I like to call them. Some people call them dolls. I like to call them fabric beings. You will see they're actually in my book series. So that's why I call it, I'm calling the museum the Jungle Beauty Goddess Museum. And then also, I realized I want to present myself to the world the way I want to present myself, no matter how crazy it is, right? When I go to museums, they're really quiet and everybody is shh. And I love museums. But I wanted mine to be raw and honest. And I do voiceovers also. Oh, let me see if I can pull this back up. I also do voiceovers. Let me see. Oh, look. I just have a title here. Voiceover video art gallery. So for a lot of my dolls that I've created, I give you a photo art gallery. And I also, for every art gallery, this is not all of them, just showing you this. For all of them, I do a voiceover, and I'll talk about the dolls or the art process, or just what it's like to be an artist, just the whole 9. And I wanted it to be personal. I also wrote some articles about the psychology of doll making, the sociology of doll making. Let me just see, can I go through a few of them here? There's some activities for if you're like an elementary teacher and you want to incorporate dolls. I have some ideas, and then I also have some I call them free online resources. I don't know if you guys can see this here. Free online resources: how to make a voodoo doll, pros and cons of making a voodoo doll, reflective questions for visitors. I have questions that I feel that you should think about while you're viewing the galleries, because it gives it more meaning. I used to always tell my students, it creates a folder for the data, and it gives you something to connect it to, right? And then I have, let's see, handmade doll journal prompts. So if you make a doll, some questions you should ask your doll. Doll making cultural activities. I have doll making, handmade dolls versus manufactured dolls, 10 questions for doll collectors, how doll making heals your inner child, art therapy using dolls. Okay, I was working so hard. It was, you see what I'm saying? And I wanted to start this video off and say, the angels gave me an idea. Like I said, a voice actually said to me to create this museum. And I want to start off and say they gave me this idea, and the angels told me they were going to do it for me, and they just said, you just go about your life, we'll wake you up when it's done. And they just woke me up and said, hey Cassandra, we made your museum for yeah! I'm sorry. I think that's how people think magic work, right? Oh yeah, like guys go, no, that's not what happened. Cry myself to sleep. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Some days I'm like, this is never gonna happen. I'm never gonna finish this. I don't even know why I started it. I can't do this. Go to bed, do my little ritual with my angels, take myself to bed, wake up in the morning, and then, boom, figure out how to do it. It was just blowing my mind. I remember, look, things look like something would fall in my kitchen, and it would be a being, seriously, and I would say, and I would feel them embrace me, and I would figure out how to go about what I'm doing. And now when I hear them, I'm just like, come on, let's do it. Just come on in here, because I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I do not know what I'm doing. It's so cool. Let me just say this. When I go to the store, And sometimes when they ask me and they say, may I help you? I say no, because no, it's not that I know where I'm going or what, where to find what I'm looking for. I just feel like I might find something really cool along the way. So I usually say no unless I'm in a hurry, because I want to peruse through the store. I want to browse. I want to figure it out, right? And one of my favorite words I ever learned was ambiguity, which is like when something is confusing. I am in a state of ambiguity. Like, I don't know what's going on, right? But I just know that I just built this online doll museum with articles and resources. Oh, and I also have doll tutorials, and I have a gift shop. Oh my God, guys, I have a gift shop, and you could just click. Let me see here. If you just click the shop button here on the, I think it's in the header or whatever. Let me see here. Anyway, you guys will be, oh, there it is, shop. You click the shop, you can go through my store, you can find some wonderful things at the Jungle Beauty Goddess gift store, and guess what, it's all free, and you can do it from the comfort of your home, darlings. And then there were some songs that were when I started out, I was listening to Little Milton's That's How Strong My Love Is, and I was playing it on repeat, like in the beginning when I was looking for the photos, and that song to me is an example to me of how God, magic, and love are just one thing. God, magic, and love. God, magic, love, one energy. Because he was telling this woman about all the things he would do for her. Like he would, oh my guys, I'm gonna put that link to the song by Little Milton. That's How Strong My Love Is. It's one of the best love songs in the world. It gives me chills. I feel like that's how much God loved me. Like I figured out through it when I was digging through pictures and I was putting together this museum. I started seeing things that I created, and I forgot that I made them, right? I have the first dolls I ever made when I struggled with hands and eyes, and I was just like, one day I just broke down. I was like, God, you just wanted me to yourself. Why didn't you just tell me you wanted me to you wanted me to yourself? Yeah, like that's what it was. Cause oh guys, let me tell you this. When I first started making dolls, I remember I called one of my coworkers. I had an 8 o'clock African American psychology class. I called J Dog, and I was like, you could teach my class for me. It's like I'm calling him like at 6 o'clock in the morning. He was like, no, Sandy. He said, why? No, first he said, why? I said, because Sahara. I said, my dog need arms, and I'm just struggling with the hands, and I can't figure it out. I'm bawling on the phone because I've been up all night. I bought all of the fabric within a 10-mile radius from all Joey, every place, to try to find the fabric to make Sahara. I was making Sahara. And I said, I'm just struggling and I'm tired. I haven't been to bed. I haven't slept in 2 days. He was like, no, you need to go to work. He said, you need to go to work because you need to be sane. He said, Sandy, that's not healthy. And I was like, I know, but... So anyway, I go to work and I'm a mess, right? And when I walk in my classroom, the first thing I do is dim the lights. And the students are like, why, did you mean it? I'm like, look, I'm a mess. I don't have my pantyhose. My legs are ashy. I am showered, but I am a mess. Let's keep the lights dim. Yeah! So, anyway, yeah. So, it was just an obsession, right? So this is 15 years worth of doll making. And I'm very excited to share it with you in hopes to inspire you to follow your dream and why it's so... Guys, I want to just tell you this. Now I love Harriet Tubman. Everybody know I love Harriet Tubman, right? And the thing is, I feel like when you follow your dream, your light becomes a guide to other people throughout eternity. Because she didn't just save the people on the Underground Railroad, right? She saved me too, because I looked for her for inspiration. I remember when I was in school, she was my guiding light. Barry White, I love Barry White. I remember I went through a really tough time, and finding my voice and myself, you know. And Barry White biography, he talked about how they told him he would never, his first wife, and that he would never amount to anything. Nobody wanted to hear his music, blah blah blah. And he had given up on his music and started working at a toy store. And God was telling him, you never abandon your gifts, right? And so his book, he was like my guide for me, like, don't abandon your gifts, Cassandra. And then when I was in the tail end of finishing this website, you know, besides me, my angels in this book, I would just wait. I'm like, I would take a week in between. Like, I would do my 11 days, and then I would take a week, right? Then I would just pick somebody, you know, another angel, and then, like I said, my grandmothers, like 4 women I've never met, and I actually have her picture. Let me see if I got my grandma in here. I'll put her picture in my footer. So I found this, my Uncle Fred. This is my great grandmothers. These are like mother and daughter. The picture is over 100 years old. And I wrote on here, I am the manifestation of my ancestors' magic. I am the magician of my ancestors' hopes and dreams. I dedicate this museum to my ancestors. And I discovered them from working with the angelic magic, and you know, it changes, it shifts everything. But towards the end of putting together the museum, I was getting, you know, really afraid of, just start, I don't know if things were going wrong or if I was getting cold feet again, right? And I woke up in the morning and I heard this, I heard the song, How You Gonna See Me Now by Alice Cooper. Now guys, I still remember the first time I ever heard the song, How You Gonna See Me Now. Now in this song, Alice Cooper, my favorite line, I'm young, and I'm like I don't know if I was a teenager or whatever, I was really young, and I heard this song for the first time. He said, I'll be waiting for a welcome sign like a hobo in the snow. And I'm thinking, you already a hobo, meaning that you probably have nothing, right? And now you in the snow? Like, what is this? Like, God, what are you, like, this is like I burst out crying. Now, I remember hearing this song for the first time as a kid. I burst out crying. Like, he's already good. He already has nothing. How you gonna put him in the snow? Like, I was just like imagining this, right? And I just remember I played this song over and over, but it was just that line that stood out with me when I was really young. So I woke up, this is, like I said, about a week ago, like when I was, tying up the loose ends, and I hear this song, and I wake up, in the morning, and it's like playing in my head, and I said, let me look this song up and see if there's a meaning to it. And I just started playing it on repeat, and then I found an interview with Alice Cooper where he said that that song was, he had been drinking a lot, and his wife had never seen him sober, and he decided, that he needed to like stop drinking. So he put himself, I don't say put himself, but he went to a rehabilitation center, and to a mental, I think it was, what he called it, a mental hospital or whatever, to stop drinking. And he said he was afraid that she wasn't gonna like the real him. Yeah, he said he was afraid that his wife was not going to like the real him after leaving, because she had never seen him sober either. And so when he was going through counseling, he said that his therapist asked him, like, why do you drink? Or he said that he was also afraid that he couldn't be Alice Cooper, the rock star, and still love God. He felt he had to pick because he grew up Christian, and he felt that God wouldn't love him if he was this rock star, right? And that he had to choose. And so he said, the therapist said to him, do you think God make mistakes? And he said, made a mistake when he made you, or he said no. He said you can be Alice Cooper and still love God. And man, did that tear me down, because I feel like that's what I've been struggling with. Like, you know, really, guys, when you see if you go behind the scenes, if you just read my story, if you look at I was struggling with being risque, you know, being over the top, being different. And I am close to God. And I know, I know people might feel like God and magic doesn't mix, but in my opinion, God is magic. God is love, real love, true love. But I was struggling with being seen. I was struggling with people, you know, in the line. He said, how are you going to see me now? Please don't see me ugly. And that's how I feel like when you see my real art, that you won't, you know, like me. You know what I mean? But so putting together the museum, the Jungle Beauty Goddess Museum, it's not just a work of collecting, you know, my work for 15 years as a doll artist, but it was also a spiritual journey of healing my family, my ancestors, doing a lot of spiritual work with them, and then also working on my self-esteem and my confidence to know that everybody is not going to like me, and that is okay. But I need to, you know, embrace and accept myself. So guys, please, please visit the Jungle Beauty Goddess Online Museum. I have the link in my description box. And I have a list of the song by Alice Cooper, How You Gonna See Me Now, and Little Milton, That's How Strong My Love Is. They really pulled me through putting this together. And I hope to see you in the museum. I want to say this. If you join my membership, I have tiers. And for the first one, it's just, you just get to see the pictures that I upload, right? And I'll keep it updated. But for one, I think that I will do like a monthly meditation. And for the third one, I'll take you through your creative journey. Like, I want it to be like more of a hands-on, teaching you how to unleash your own creativity. It includes everything in the first one. Like, of course, you'll see the pictures and you do the meditation, but you get a 20% discount on certain items in my store. Most items except for custom-made dolls. But that's not the big thing. The main thing is I want to teach you how to, like, if you want to build your own website, I want to help you build it. We're going to work on affirmations and just working together, like teaching you to have a vision for yourself and follow through on that vision no matter how tough it gets, and then showing you some different, magic to help you through some really tough periods. That's for the third level. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the art galleries at the Jungle Beauty Goddess Museum. Thank you.